Hello everybody, it is Stalin, your leader, and today I'll be building my gaming PC. And as I do so, I'll be teaching you how to do it yourself. Now, if you're only installing a certain component, like the GPU or RAM, I will have timestamps in the description that you can go and click on so you don't have to watch this whole video and try to seek through it. Now, a couple of disclaimers. First off, this is a pre-built case. Now, there's nothing in it left that is pre-built other than the case fans, but it has motherboard standoffs already included. So, if your case does not have these already included, then make sure you buy motherboard standoffs before you do anything, because you could short circuit your motherboard and break all your components, and it's just not something you want to have to deal with when you just built your new computer. Other than that, this also has a proprietary power cable for the front buttons and lights. So most cases have them all separate, and this one has it all together. So since you can't see me build that, I'm going to throw a diagram up right now that you could use and just cut back to that when we get to it. So, now the other disclaimers. First, I already have the power supply, hard drive cage, hard drives, and then as I said, the case fans already installed. Now this is all stuff that should be already on your case other than the power supply. And this up here is just the DVD drive, which most cases don't even have included, and they're obsolete, so we won't even be talking about that today. Other than that, some tips that you want to do before you begin building is, first off, make sure all your parts, before you even buy them, are all compatible, okay? Like your CPU and your motherboard and everything. Other than that, never build on carpet, because carpet could build up static electricity, and it will ruin your components and you won't even realize it. And you want to keep yourself grounded. Now you can wear any static wristband or a watch or a metal watch face, and then even if you have these, you should just every once in a while touch the metal in your case, and this will keep you from building up static electricity, and it will make sure you don't zap any of your components and kill them once again without even realizing it. Other than that, you're going to want to have all your tools laid out. You're not going to need this many tools, but just in case, I have them all set up here. You're going to need a couple of screwdrivers, and you're also going to make sure you want to have a bowl for all the screws that you're going to use to put on your motherboard and the standoffs and everything, so you don't lose them. Okay, it is now time to get started on the build. So, I have my motherboard here. Get that on camera there. So I'm going to unbox that now, and right now you're going to want to get your standoffs ready. You should probably already have it in the box. It's going to come in a static bag, and it should look like that. I am working with a mini ATX today. So it'll come with the I/O shield, which I already installed because I had the same motherboard before this. And then finally it will come with some SATA cables. And then of course all of your components will probably have a user guide of some form, but you do not need that today. Alright, so let's get this out of the bag and get started. Now, first things first, let's get this installed in the case. So make sure you have your standoffs ready and everything. I/O is going to line up, that's how you know which direction to mount it. And now let's get this in there. This is a long I/O shield for this motherboard. Okay, cut. Cut hard, Dan. Bruh. Okay, we now return after some major technical difficulties with a missing I/O shield. So, I am going to screw in the motherboard first, and then install the I/O shield, because it does seem like they are not having a good time. Okay, once you have all your screws installed and standoffs, you can begin plugging things in. So, most cases will already have the case fans in the case, and since I have an extra one, I am going to very carefully get this nice fan splitter out and connect two fans together here. Actually, let's use scissors instead of cutting towards yourself. Tip, never ever cut towards yourself. And also make sure you don't cut the things you need from the inside. So, you have your lead that goes into the motherboard. Make sure it says CHA fan, not CPU fan. when you're plugging in your case fans. And also make sure you plug in the fan the plug in the right direction. Okay, now plug in our fans to the splitter. Just slot in like anything else. Most of building a computer is just plugging things into the motherboard. You also want to be a little bit careful when you're working with these. This fan splitter seems to be pretty tight, so. Okay, now we have the fans plugged in, we can start plugging in other things. Since I already have the hard drives in here, I'm going to plug in the SATA cables first. So I have 2 SATA cables total. I have my SSD, which I will plug into SATA 1. And then in SATA 2, it should say on your motherboard, my hard drive, since it is not my main drive. Now, I'm going to plug in this is the HD audio I will plug in. Every motherboard is different, so unless you have the exact same motherboard, these might be in slightly different locations for you. Now, we can move on to getting some of the other things out. So we're going to start plugging in power supply cables. The biggest one, this giant braided cable here, is going to be the 20 pin power connector. This powers all the main components in your motherboard. So there should be a main 20 and then a 4 if your motherboard supports it. Most motherboards need the extra 4 pin. The other power cables is going to be your CPU cable. If you have a Intel K chip, you're going to have 2 to plug in. I only have 1. So there we go. Connect it right in. And then finally, the last couple parts of the case is going to be your USB and once again more HD audio connectors. There we go. Now, everything for the case is now plugged into this board. So if you have more SATA cables, if you have more drives, you're going to have more SATA connections to connect. And other than that, let's get the CPU in here next. So, if I'm using Intel 1151, and this is what the connector looks like. Most of them are pretty similar. They just have a hook like that. And this part should pop out just a little bit. There we go. Let me get my CPU. Now there's going to be an arrow in the corner. You want to be very, very careful with this part because if you drop in your CPU too hard, you could bend the pins on your motherboard, which is catastrophic. There should be an arrow somewhere, if I could find it, that tells you which direction your CPU lies in. On here, if you can see that, there's a little golden dot in the shape of an arrow in the right corner there, and that tells you how this should go. And for me, it is just like that. Okay, so now after a little bit of work there, I got my CPU in, and for most CPUs, this is the same. It just clamps over, and this takes a little bit of force, hooks right in for the Intel. And there we go. CPU should be good and ready to go. Now, let's get the cooler. I'm using the Intel stock cooler, which I do not recommend. It is very small and does not do a very good job of actually keeping your CPU cool. There. Now, all 4 legs, you want to double check to make sure. Like this one popped out. Bruh. We'll make sure all 4 legs are properly secured, and then you can plug in the fan. It should be labeled CPU fan. Do not plug in the CHA fan. There we go. And it slid right in. Now, time to get the RAM. Okay, here's the RAM stick. I'm using a single 8GB. And I will be placing it to the slot closest to the CPU as I'm only using 1. There is a little key on the stick that keeps you from plugging it in the wrong way. Okay, now let's get the GPU in there. GPU is also pretty simple. Since I'm using a GTX 1050 Ti, I will not have to plug in GPU power. But if you do, it looks like this. And mine is labeled PCIe, and it's a little 6-pin connector if the camera will pick that up. And most higher-end GPUs will require that. Be sure to knock out the slots so on your case, they should have breakout panels that will disconnect and allow your thing to fit there. There we go. And should fit through, and then the little locker will flip back up on its own. My Phillips head and try to screw it in. But there we go. We're now connected. Now, like I said, if you have GPU power, it should be around here somewhere, and you'll have to plug that in. Now, you're going to want to go over everything. I believe we have connected everything. So, go over all your plugs. Make sure you are set. Everything's connected. The fan, the SATA cables, the power. Really make sure that power button's connected, because that will throw you off for a loop. CPU power, your cooler's connected, and then finally, if you can do it, cable manage your stuff. Bruh. Because that will help you with thermals and everything. But for this case, I don't have any way to cable manage, so we're just going to be tossing this cable monster down. There we go. And I will get the side panel now, and we will hook this to the wall. Replacing your side panel is quite easy, and for most cases, you just have to line it up with these little key marks. You have to get it just right. This case is quite finicky with it, this HP. But also, make sure you clean out your case, the side door and everything. Not only will it help your thing run better, but it'll also help prevent dust from building up and ruining your components. There we go. We're connected. And then we take one screw. Maybe two, however many. Every case is different. But for me, it's just one. There we go. Now, let's go plug this thing into the wall and see if we did everything right. If you did, everything's your power on just fine, and you'll be good. And there we go, everybody. We have everything set up, installed properly, and that fan noise is because of the thermal paste lack of application I had on there. That you can look up how to do later, but thank you for watching, everybody, and go check out Dan's channel because he really wants to edit this video.
It's popping! Oh! Whoa, it's lit in here, huh?